Hey, horse friends, I'm Becca Salamone, and you're watching American Horse Talk Live. I'm so super excited to bring you a special guest today. She is in Weatherford, Texas, but she's from Utah, and she is joining us to tell us all about her horse story. Her name is Amberley Snyder. Welcome to the show, Amberley. How you doing?
I am great. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're very inspirational in the horse world. You're a motivational speaker, and are you a counselor yet? Or are you studying that?
I got my degree.
Okay,
I have
good.
my master's in school counseling, and at some point I'll probably go into that, or if it works out. Otherwise, I'm just speaking.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so just tell us a little bit about yourself. When you started riding horses, and lead up to that day that just basically changed your life.
So I started riding at 3. My family lived in California at the time, and I would have rode probably younger than that. That was then. When I was 7, my dad called us all in and said we're going to move to Utah. And I told him the only way I'll move is if you buy me a Palomino burro horse when I get there. So my
That was a
dad,
good bribe.
it was, and he knew that. He knew I was serious. Like I wasn't going to go anywhere if he didn't
For
get me that
sure.
Palomino horse. So we moved to Utah. He bought me that Palomino burro horse. I started competing in rodeo, and of course, fell in love with it. I knew I was going to love it, but fell in love with it then. And rodeo through the junior days, junior high, high school, and did pretty well. I mean, I was able to stay within the standings and rankings through all of those. So by my senior year, I made it to the national high school finals, as well as the national little britches finals a couple of years, and had won a world title in 2009. So that was like kind of all leading up to my life changing in 2010. I'd rodeoed, I'd done the FFA, I'd been a part of all of those associations, and then 2010 was when my life completely changed.
Yes. So tell us about that. The day that happened.
So January 10th of 2010, I was on my way to Denver, Colorado for the stock show. I was going there to work for the couple of weeks and left Logan, Utah at about 4:30 in the morning to start my drive. Stopped in Rollins, Wyoming at a gas station. And when I got back in my truck, I decided to not put my seatbelt back on. I'd had a stomachache all morning, and so I thought I was going to take it off just for a minute, not knowing how that would change my life. Less than 10 miles down the road, I was going through Sinclair, Wyoming, when I had looked down to check my map. When I looked up, I'd faded over and overcorrected my truck, which resulted in rolling. When it rolled, I was ejected. I was thrown out of it and hit a fence post on the side of the road across my stomach. Folded around it, broke it up, and carried it, and then I 20 feet with that fence. So that's how I broke my back and injured my spinal cord.
And what was the moment that you knew that everything had changed?
You know, I mean, heck, like I remember all of it. Like I remember, obviously trying to get my truck back straight and it picking up off the ground and feeling myself leave my truck and hearing it still rolling. I'm sitting on the side of the road waiting for somebody to come and find me and knowing that I can't feel my legs. All of that is pretty, kind of surreal to think back on it. It's been 9 years now. But none of that, when you're sitting there, it doesn't seem like it's going to be real. Like you don't think about, oh my gosh, like this is the new reality or this is how life is going to be. I don't know. I don't even know when it sets in. I think it even just hits me from time to time still as is. Like some days you kind of forget everything you've been through, and other days, man, you feel like you're carrying it in a backpack. So I think
Yeah,
it's all the time.
for sure. Now, you are a barrel racer, and were you competitive and a champion before the accident?
Yep. I'd won multiple saddles, titles, awards, all of the above. Yeah.
Okay. And tell us about how you had to rely on your friends, your faith, your family, and even your animals to get through all this.
And that is one of the biggest things for me that sometimes I don't think people realize is how lucky I've been and how much I've been able to lean on the support system. So I have a big family. There's 6 kids in my family, then my mom and dad. So there's a lot of us, and we've all grown up to be really competitive. My older sister was a gymnast. She's now a coach. My brothers played baseball after my dad. My littlest sister rode with me, and my other little sister, she loved dancing and singing. She kind of floated through whatever she felt like at the time. But man, I mean, they've all really helped me in different ways be able to be where I'm at. You know, like my family all serves definitely a different purpose for me on what helps me and how they pick me up and how they are there for me. I mean, all of the above. So my family is a big deal. I mean, really, they are a part of why I am who I am. My horses and my dog. I have one dog. So my dog, she's pretty special. Like, I feel like nobody don't get to talk about her enough because it's always with my horse, right? My horses always get the attention.
The spotlight. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. But my dog, the very first summer after my accident, if she wasn't sleeping in my room, my mom would jump up on my chair and, like, you know, just saying, like, Mom, like, you gotta get out of bed today. Because that first summer was pretty rough. You know, I really felt like the later I slept in, the less of the day I had to handle. So, gosh, she'd come up there and sit on my chair and just, like, lick my hands or lick me or whatever, just to make me get up and do something. And what is so crazy is that she won't jump in my chair anymore. So it was only that first summer that I think that, you know, she knew she was supposed to be there for a reason, to get me up and going. So my dog is pretty important to me. My horses are the same. They really are my freedom at this point. And gosh, I think after that's my faith. You know, your faith that, you know, everything happens for a reason, that, you know, God has a purpose for you. I wouldn't know how people survive without doing that. I really don't, without believing that there is a reason behind the challenges we face.
For sure.
So, yeah,
I agree there.
That's kind of my backbone right there of how I get to do what I do.
Yeah, for sure. Now, tell us a little bit about the changes that you had to undergo with your horses and your horsemanship since the accident.
So, I was pretty lucky that right before my accident, I actually had gone to a clinic and really focused on breaking down like every part of Power, like, so that when depending on where I put my hands, I was asking for different things and use my legs as reinforcement. So what was crazy is that I feel like I trained him to do that and honestly prepare to be ready for me after.
Yes.
He was pretty dang smart. I mean, really, the biggest thing I had to redo with my horses is make them ignore my legs. So my legs, like, they still, like, kind of move on the side of them or flap. I don't know how you'd want to say, like, they swing or, you know, they're just there. I don't have them strapped completely down. And they just have to ignore them, you know, not be scared of them when they swing out and come back and hit them. So that has been a little bit challenging and enlightening to learn that not every horse works for me anymore. But yeah, they're all trained a lot with my hands and my voice.
Yeah. So I was watching some of your past video interviews, and you talked about, you know, a certain horse was not your style anymore. So what is your style of horse?
When it comes to barrel racing, like, I have to have a free running horse. I can't have a horse that you've got to really drive into the barrels, because obviously I would lack the ability to drive them really up into a barrel. And so ones that want to run hard by themselves. And I've got to have horses that are sensitive enough that when I pick them up with my hands, that they react. You know, they have to be sensitive enough with their face and their mouth that when I do touch them, and a lot of that just happens in the practice pen. You know, a lot of that is just with the riding. But some horses get really, I don't know, like, they get offended if you have to ride them with your hands more. And so those ones don't really work. Or
I think we lost her.
I don't know.
Oh, there she is. I lost you for a second. You were frozen. Oh. So what about your balance?
My balance, honestly, is still one of the hardest things that I deal with.
Is it?
Oh, 100%. Both in my chair, in every part of life, and on a horse.
Yeah. So, you know, I imagine you've had to really build up your arms a lot to be able to handle all that.
Yeah. You know, they told me in the hospital that I should, like, measure my bicep, because it would be interesting to learn how they grew. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's not going to happen. So I didn't do it. And I should have, because I know
you should have.
Probably 3 times the size of what they were.
Yeah, for sure. Now, do you do anything like clinics or, you know, any training that you do for other people?
I do. I put on barrel racing clinics or barrels and poles clinics, all over wherever somebody wants me to go. Yeah. I actually am doing one on the 16th of March in Arizona. That'll be my first one of the year.
Okay, good. All right, so people can go to your website for more information about that.
To find information on the clinic, I just actually posted it on my social media. I haven't put that one up on my website, but it should be by the end of the day.
Okay. All right. Well, let me stop right there and mention some of these people that are on here with us. Of course, my husband is on there. Let me put him up there. That's Frank Salamone. He gives you the thumbs up.
Oh, perfect.
See, Kelly Rich says amazing person. Do you know Kelly?
I don't know if I do.
Okay.
If
Okay.
I've met you, Kelly, then I probably should remember.
Okay. And let's see. Rhonda Neal says testify. Oh, that's when you're talking about your faith.
Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I feel like I don't know how any of us exist without knowing it's for a purpose.
Yeah. And then a friend of mine, Lisa Wright Henson, says, hi, ladies.
Oh, well, hey.
Yeah, she's a good girl. She's a dancer also, and I like to dance.
Super fun. Yeah, I've never really had that kind of groove and ability, but
yeah,
my sisters do.
You got the racing ability. So since the accident and getting back into it, what's the highest level that you've gone so far to win?
Well, I compete professionally now, so I compete at the pro rodeos. I usually stay in my circuit for the most part, so I'm in the wilderness circuit, so I've stayed really there. I am in Texas right now. I came down to run in the American semifinals, and am going up to run in the Patriot today. But usually I stay within my circuit.
Yeah, so tell us about the run that you did at the American where you got a standing ovation.
So back in 2015, yeah, they invited me in as a fans exemption for the American, and gosh, that was incredible. Like, I feel like one of those life-changing moments.
Right.
And you don't even realize it's going to change your life, I think, until it does. Like, for me, I just thought, hey, this would be really cool to be able to go up and make a run in front of, this many people. And it's not like it crosses your mind like, man, this could change someone's life. I don't even think about that. I mean, for me, this is just the reality of what I face every day. But that was an amazing run. Power, I rode Power in that one. He's my black horse, and he worked pretty dang good. We should have been a little bit faster, but hey, I always say that. I feel like you always say that as a real racer, but I was really, really honored that they gave me a standing ovation at the end of that. I mean, that really meant a lot.
Yeah, that's incredible. So you mentioned Power. So that's the black horse. What's your other horse's name?
So Power's my black horse. My bay horse that I run now, his name is Legs. Well, his name is French Open, but I call him Legacy or Legs short.
Legs. There you go. Makes sense. And that's the only two you have?
Those are the two that I'm running. I have a rope horse named Maximus. My little sister ropes on. She actually roped on him today. She sent me a video. She roped on him today to high school rodeo. And then I've got a couple of colts. The one I'm going to sell the two actually. So the only one I'll have left after that is his name's Aztec, and he's 4. I'll run him next year as a fraternity colt.
Okay, and you do roping as well?
I do. I breakaway rope. I love it. I haven't done it since I broke my leg, because then that was when I gave my little sister my horse. I'm hoping to rope a little bit more this summer, though.
Okay. All right. So how important was winning to you then versus now?
Was winning?
Yeah.
Oh, winning's always been important.
I figured you'd say that.
Yeah, I don't think that concept has changed for me at all. The appreciation that comes with it has definitely gotten bigger. Or appreciating even when you don't win, I think has gotten bigger. Oh heck, my dad, when I was probably 10 years old, told me second place is first loser. Like, I have been raised to believe that. And we have learned to appreciate the process and the journey and just the ability to be out there a heck of a lot more since my accident. But of course, I still love winning.
Well, yeah, I think everybody does, don't they?
Yeah. If you don't, you haven't done it enough, because you love it.
Yeah. So what have you learned overall going through this situation?
One thing I've learned is it's really tested my patience a lot. So I feel like I have learned to be patient, not only with myself, but people around me. I think that I still use that a lot. I feel like just being patient is one of those things. I have learned to not take moments for granted.
Mm-hmm.
because you never know when you're not going to be able to do something or some sort of life circumstance is going to change. And to really appreciate the loved ones I have around me. I think that those really are the big moments or big lessons I've learned.
Yeah, for sure. Let me show you some more comments up here real quick, and then we'll go on. See, Rhonda Neal says, thanks for the shout out. Amber, you encourage us so much, no matter what kind of horse rider we are. And I apologize for my voice. I've been sick and I sound like a croaking frog. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, but she's saying you encourage us no matter what kind of horse rider we are. And that's really a great thing. You're such an inspiration to everybody.
Well, thank you. I really, I am. That's one of those things I've been lucky. Not every person that gets in an accident or is in a chair or faces something really has the opportunity to inspire others around them. And that part I've been really blessed to be able to do.
Yeah. And then Lisa Wright Henson says she's so excited about the movie coming out. And she's told everybody to watch it. It's a must watch. And you're inspiring to so many people. Keep it up. Congrats on the buckle win I saw on Legacy.
Oh, tell her thank you. I guess I can tell her if she's listening.
Yeah, she's listening right now. You talk right to her.
Thank you for that. And gosh, I hope people do love the movie. It comes out. It's like a week and a day away. We're 8 days away from the movie getting released. So I'm excited for people to watch it. I hope that they are motivated and inspired. And
yeah, for sure. Now tell us how
they don't like it. They don't like my life. So
yeah. Tell us about how the movie came about.
So it's actually been quite a process. The first people that approached me probably did in 2013. And then they had my movie contract or my life rights for a couple of years. And we got a script written, the initial script written. Then that contract faded out and a new one came into place in 2015. And we revamped the script a couple of times. And last spring, so spring of 2018, our contract was ending and they asked if they could have an extension because they were meeting with Netflix.
Okay. So you learned the whole process all the way along.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a heck of a process. So I was able we renewed the contracts. We went through Netflix, signed on to it. I think that was March of last year, and we filmed July and August.
Wow. So you were part of the filming. You're not actually in the movie, right?
I'm my own stunt double.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah. So I ride for myself.
Awesome.
I'm the only one in the United States that does what I do. And so that competes professionally. And so that was one of my agreements when I told them or agreed to do the movie, is that I would be able to ride for myself. And then my little sister actually is the stunt double for my pre-accident stuff. So she does all the riding before the accident and I do it all after.
That is so cool. I did not know that.
Yeah. I mean, you'll see Spencer. She rides. But any of the fast stuff on the barrels is going to be me or my little sister.
Okay, cool. All right. So also, did you sing in the movie?
Oh, I did not sing in the movie, but me and Eric. So Max we wrote a song. We collaborated after. We wrote a song called Ride, and it's going to come out on the 5th. So it'll come out next week. And it really is, gosh, I love this song. It's really a beautiful song. And it's just about having the freedom of riding and a little bit of insight into my story as much as you can into song lyrics. But so we did the music video together.
Okay. And how can people get that?
I don't actually know the answer to that. Well, I know it will be released on March 5th, and then they should be able to get it on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, iMusic. I mean, all of Apple Music, everything. They'll be able to get it on everything.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm going to show you one more here. Let's see. Kelly Rich says, heard you speak at the FFA a couple of years ago and was truly inspired people. So tell us about your work with FFA.
So FFA, I think they can get the credit for the fact that I am a speaker. I was a state FFA officer the year I got in my accident, and I'd actually written a speech in 2009, December of 2009, like my retiring address. So it's like a going away speech, and you can write it on anything you want. So I wrote it on overcoming obstacles, not knowing that less than a month later I would be living that speech. So 2 months and 2 days after my accident, I wheeled out on the state convention stage to give my retiring address about overcoming obstacles, and really was one of those moments where I realized the chair was bigger than me. After that, I started being a speaker, and not like I just decided to be. I guess people just started asking me to speak, so I thought, okay, I can probably do that, and that really has expanded to now it is my career. I mean, it's what I do for my job.
That's great. So do you travel across the country speaking?
I do. Last year, I was in 18 different states. I think I've been to 36 different states now at this point speaking. So I'm getting closer to 50. That's one of my goals. But yeah, I mean, I do get to speak a lot.
Yeah. Before you know it, you're going to be traveling around the world.
I hope so. I've only ventured into Canada a couple times. That's as far as I've gotten so far.
Now, when you've gone and done these speaking engagements, who has most impressed you? Someone that's come up to talk to you, someone who maybe you've changed their life. Who would that be?
Oh, I mean, there really is a lot on that. I feel like that everywhere I go, I hope that there's always somebody in the audience that feels like what I had to say was meant for them that day. And I have been really lucky enough that everywhere I go, I actually have somebody say that. And like I said, it's those moments that I realize that the chair is bigger than me. And it's those moments that gives me strength to realize that there is a plan and a purpose. But I don't know if I could pinpoint one person. I don't know if I could say that was the moment. Of places that I've been, I really have been I've been lucky to be surrounded by people who uplift me during my speaking and even after when they come and visit with me about their experiences.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you make a huge impact on people, and the biggest word we have is inspiration. In fact, I was watching another video with Dina Kirkpatrick, and she said you're the epitome of inspiration. So,
Yes.
yeah,
Was that on Racer's Edge?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I like Dina a lot. She
Yeah.
was really fun. That was probably one of my favorite interview segments that we've done.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. I'm not sure I heard that last bit. It looked like your lips were moving, but I couldn't hear what you said.
Oh, I just said that was one of my favorite. That was probably one of my favorite segments when they came out and filmed for that.
Okay. All right. Now, also, I don't know if I should bring this up or not. You tell me if you want to talk about it or not. But the other day, you had some kind of incident with an airline that was not a pleasant incident.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, I mean it's not a big deal really. It just to talk about it. So I fly a lot. I mean I fly if I do 50 speeches a year, I'm going to be flying to and from. So that's at least 100 times of flying.
Right.
And then most of them had layovers, so I fly quite a bit. And I worked really hard to be able to be independent when I fly. And I just had an experience in Wichita that he didn't appreciate that and felt like I shouldn't have a choice but to be taken down the jetway backwards, and I'm not comfortable with that. I've never really been comfortable with that, and I didn't have a choice or I wasn't gonna be able to get on the plane.
Yeah.
So it was kind of upsetting, and I have mentioned it and brought it to light just for the fact of I know that I can't be the only person that's ever felt like that, and I know how hard we work for independence. I mean it really is a daily fight, so to have somebody try to cap you with a limit is frustrating.
Yeah. So it's pretty safe to assume that you don't consider yourself to be disabled.
No, I mean, I don't think so. Yeah, there are challenges that I face without a doubt. And I so appreciate help. You know, that's not something that I don't like. I mean, I like when people ask me, "Can I help you?" or "What can I help you with?" Like, I'll find something. I really do appreciate help. But there's a difference in forcing it of you can't do that unless I do it for you. And I think there's just a different way of going about it.
For sure. So, what would you say so far the thing that you're most proud of?
You know, I feel like I don't even know. I mean, like I'm proud of myself that I was able to get back to where I'm at and competing to where I'm at the level that I am. That part I'm proud of myself for. I'm proud of myself for some days it's still hard to get out of bed. Like some days it's still hard to climb into a chair and realize that it's reality. Man, like I did an interview the other day and I was talking about goals and I was talking about just kind of how I face them. And I feel like every day you should do something so you feel like, you've earned or accomplished something. So when I'm at home, like I like cooking s'mores on the stove. And so I try to think every day I do something to earn that. And I think that's kind of one of those things that I can be proud of, is just that I feel like it doesn't matter what situation I'm in. Every day I've earned an accomplishment, or I've earned the ability to be heard. I've earned that stinking s'more. I mean, whatever that means. So some days, heck, just getting out of bed, you earn it. And other days it's accomplishing something great.
Yeah, for sure. Now, if you could go back in time, would you change the fact that you had the accident and became paralyzed?
So I've been asked that. Well, the first time I was asked that was actually by a little second grader. And that was 4 years after my accident. And then, and even now, like, you think about it for a minute, and I think about where my life is at and how it has changed, and the chair is not fun. But all the things that have come from it, I don't know if I could give those back. So my answer is always no. I wouldn't change it, but if I got my legs back today, I'm not going to complain either. Like, I feel like I've been really grateful for the experiences and the journey I've been on so far. But if I'd started walking right now, I'm not going to complain either.
Yeah, I understand. You'd want it both ways. And, of course, this has given you a platform and a voice to reach so many thousands of people. Not this, but, your life, what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. And that part, that's what I mean. I don't know if I could change that. I feel like I've been able to impact and even save lives before because of this. And, I wouldn't want to give those things up, but doesn't mean I won't give up on walking.
Yeah, for sure. And like you inspire me as well. And like today, it's been a rough day for me. Coming home from school, I teach homeschool, cover school. And on the way home, I pulled into the gas station. I got a text, and it said that one of my students had been in an accident and was killed. And so basically, I've been crying all day because Monday's not going to be the same. He's not going to be there,
No.
So, but you are here, and you've changed. You've done things great with your life, and you've changed people's lives. And I just want to say thank you to you. It's an honor for you to be on the show, and you're such an inspiration. I just really appreciate you sharing your story with us.
No, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. And so let's tell people one more time, the movie's coming out March 8th on Netflix.
March
Is that right?
On Netflix. Yep. Worldwide.
Great. And I'm going to show your website again. They can go there for more information.
Yep. They can find me on amberleysnyder.org. You can look at my story there. You can get a hold of me for speaking there. Yeah, you can find me on there, or any of the social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all of the above.
That's awesome. And did you write the book as well?
Yes, I have a children's book called Walk.Ride.Rodeo. That's what they named the movie after. And I wrote that in 2017.
Okay. And that walk, ride, and rodeo, those were your goals in therapy, right?
Yeah, the very first day of therapy, they asked me what my goals were, and that was what I replied, never knowing that those 3 words were going to end up being the title of a movie.
Yeah, for sure.
But isn't it crazy how sometimes it works out that way?
Really is. Well, congratulations on everything, Amberley. That's so awesome. Proud for you.
I appreciate that.
All right. Well, good luck out there in Texas. We'll be looking for those results.
All right. I need a little bit of it today.
All right, guys. And thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to everybody who made comments on here. If you're enjoying our content, go ahead and share it with your horse friends. Make sure you go to the American Horse Talk page, like us to get our updates when we go live. Join us on the American Horse Talk group to share love of country and love of horse. All right. Thanks, Amberley. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.